Hey everybody, so we are going to be talking about finding midpoints from a coordinate plane. It is going to be similar to what we did right here with working backwards, and I do want us to be using this formula from now on. I know we use something different, that's fine, but this is what you're going to be seeing more on like the SAT, so I want you to be prepared for it. A reminder, coordinate pairs, they're X, Y, you have two different pairs. Now we've been working from a number line where you only have one variable. You only have an X there. You get an X1 and an X2. So in this case, whenever you're working with a coordinate pair, your midpoint is going to be found by doing your X values. You're going to add both of your X values and divide them by 2. And you're also going to do the same with your Y values in the same order and divide them by 2. So let's do example 1. You've got the values of C at 22.4 and B at 15.7. So you've got some line segment CB, and we need to find the midpoint of it. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to label which one's my 1 point. So that's what this 1 right here says. It's my X value from your 1 point, Y value from your 1 point. This one, your X from your second point, your 2. Your Y from your second point. So we're going to go ahead and write it in. And I'm going to make this one X1 and Y1. Now I could, if I wanted to make this X1 and this X2, I don't feel like it today. It's okay if you do. Either way, you will end up getting the same answer. So let's go ahead and get our formula in here. And I'm going to write a big M because I'm going to need the room. That's an ugly M. Sorry, guys. All right, so we've got X1, which is 22, plus our X2, which is 15, divided by 2. Then we're going to do Y1 plus Y2. So that's 4 plus 7 divided by 2. And now all you're going to have to do is solve. So 22 plus 15, that's going to get you 37 over 2. And 4 plus 7, that's going to give you 11 over 2. And because these can't be simplified as fractions, this right here would be your midpoint of the segment CB. You could, if you wanted to, you could write this as a decimal. And so what you would end up doing is do 37 divided by 2, which is 18.5. And 11 divided by 2, which is 5.5. And this is also the midpoint of line segment CB, whether you write it as a fraction or decimal. Typically, if they gave it to you as a fraction, you want to keep it as a fraction. But in our case, well, they just gave us whole numbers, so we can kind of decide. Now, our next example right here, that's not how it is. They gave us decimals, and you're like, this is gross. I have to put decimals in fractions. It's okay. You'll be fine. We got this, Buffaloes. So we're going to do a capital M, and we're going to write down our formula. I always want you to write your formula first. It gives us a starting point. Oops. Okay, and to plug it in. Right? And this is going to be really helpful if they only give you the midpoint and one of the endpoints. Then you can work your way backwards, kind of like we did in the other notes. This time, you know what? I'm going to make this one be X2 and Y2, and this one be X1 and Y1. And just if you're wondering, hey, can I make this one X2 and this one Y1? No. You keep your 2's together and your 1's together. Deal? Awesome. So let's do this. We're going to drop these numbers in. I've got my X1, which is negative 5.6, plus a negative, and notice I'm putting parentheses around it, 11.2, all divided by 2. And then my y1 in this case was negative 7.8 plus a negative 3.4 all over 2. Close your parentheses. Okay, so now you're just going to plug it into your calculator. Now you can do it by hand, of course. You're going to see these types of questions on your SAT and your PSAT and the non-calculator portion even. So you want to be prepared for that. So it's adding negative 11.2. Same signs, you're just going to add them in, 0.8, negative 16.8. So it equals negative 16.8 for this one. You're going to still have to divide it by 2. And then this one, your y values becomes negative 11.2 all over 2. And it gives you negative 8.4 and negative 5.6. And this right here is your answer. It is the midpoint of segment JK. And guess what? That's all you need today. Thanks for watching.